Serious face. Welcome to the Blueprint Podcast, where we deliver a blueprint to success in every single episode. We have here with us today that drove all the way up or all the way down. Some would say up or down. I guess it's really up according to elevation levels. Mm-hmm. So drove all the way up from the gorgeous San Diego. We have with us the beautiful Alyssa.
Hi.
In the beginning of every single episode, we will have a toast. And, we toast to a great, I was going to say a great relationship. Yeah, well, maybe.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
great life, success, everything.
Absolutely. So, with those that you meet and stuff, that is a real relationship, and business relationship and social life and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I guess I was kind of on the right path there.
Yeah, there you go.
So today we have a little bit of bourbon. Mm-hmm. Have you had Jefferson's before?
I have not, no.
All right. Salud.
Salud.
So let's talk. What would you like people to know about Alyssa? Am I saying it correctly?
Oh, yeah. It's Alyssa.
Okay.
About Alyssa. Let's see. Just as a person, career-wise, everything, just embodying everything.
What would you want someone to know? How would you want someone to view you?
Let's see. The biggest thing about me, I would definitely say my whole life, is I've been very hardworking. I have a really high drive for success. And so constantly learning is something that I'm always doing. And I try to incorporate it in everything about my life, but I'm also a very big empath. So I want to find ways to not only be successful in my own life, but to help people along the way as well, because I feel like there is no real gratitude or success in just benefiting yourself if all around you're not helping others. And so when you're learning and you're becoming a better person and a bigger person, it's always my goal. It's always my goal to kind of find a way to incorporate other people and to help them. And I think that's why I kind of turned towards real estate as well, because a lot of people have a preconceived notions about agents that, they're kind of out for the commission. It's just them. They're not really looking for beneficial ways to help their clients necessarily, that it's all about the paycheck. I joined a team who thankfully thinks a lot differently and are very creative when it comes to financing options with my lender or just anything overall when it comes to buyers and sellers. We know that buyers and sellers are not a one-size-fits-all. Everybody has a different situation. And so coming in and really getting creative and not only helping them save the most money, but find an awesome home and, live a great life in that home is something that we are very passionate about. And being able to find a team that was able to do that and incorporate, both aspects of everything that I love in life was super important to me. And it was like the universe brought them to me and connected us. And that's where I am now.
You want to be a realtor? The working does not stop.
It does not stop.
Absolutely. That's what people don't understand. People think that it's like selling sunset. Even though you look like you walked off the set of Selling Sunset. That's extremely important with, of course, in the real estate industry. And that's very important in anything where people make a lot of money and there's a commission aspect to it.
Oh, of course.
Right? So those are always things that professionals try to stress upon because no one wants to look like they're just out to...
Yeah, like they have a secret agenda because they're getting paid. Like, let me find the best way to make the most money, not necessarily caring about, what my clients are getting out of it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. What the best fit is for your client and really caring. Sometimes it's very overlooked that you care.
Yeah.
And especially when people know what type of money you make.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
People think that the money doesn't, that because you have the money that you don't care, or because you're so successful, like, oh my God, you did it in a way that wasn't maybe ethical. And like I said, that's a big preconceived notion. I mean, you've seen Selling Sunset. You see these women and men, like $1 Million Listing, driving beautiful cars, selling beautiful homes, and they sell kind of this image that it's cockiness and it's not, coming from a place of the heart.
Correct.
And so being able to combine those two things and making the effort to show that, hey, I care about you as an individual, as a client, not my paycheck. When you put the client first, the money follows.
Correct.
That is
Correct.
my biggest belief. And when you're doing something that you really feel tied to and you feel, confident in with your skills and making an effort to get to know people and their situations, the money will always follow.
It would always, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What is your experience or take on a lot of people that are in the category of the wealthy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we have rich people and then we have wealthy people,
Yep.
right? So there's a big difference there for those that are unfamiliar.
Definitely.
A lot of people that fit in that wealthy category,
Mm-hmm.
they want you to make money
Oh, yeah.
when they do business with you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're charging too little, red flags go up.
It's almost insulting. Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And they also feel like if they're not getting the best of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's not an experience that I have. It's something that I've witnessed,
Mm-hmm.
right? When someone's charging too little, that client doesn't feel confident doing business with you because they feel like they're not getting the best, whatever service or whatever product that they really need or that they want.
Yeah.
What is your experience or take on that?
My take on that is like I said, there's a whole spectrum of people. Buying and selling is not a one size fits all. So depending on what category you're in,
Mm-hmm.
I have a different approach for that. My team has a different approach for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not necessarily on the wealthy spectrum, we cater to your needs. We say, okay, what are the
Right.
best programs that we have when it comes to lending? You're a first-time home buyer. How do we save you the most money on closing costs? How do we save you the most money in putting in the offer and negotiating with the seller? When you're wealthy, you're paying for a different type of service. You expect a different type of service
Mm-hmm.
because that's what you're used to, because that is what your money has brought you. And so for our wealthier clients who expect more, you are going to receive a different, not necessarily level, like we treat you better,
Correct.
but a different aspect of our service. Because
Correct.
now I'm not selling a, $500,000 home. I'm now selling a $5 million home.
Correct.
And
Correct.
so I need to market to a completely different type of people who are going to come in and look at your home, who are going to come in and purchase your home. And so there's a whole different type of marketing. Like you said, people kind of get not insulted, but it's like a red flag
Correct.
when you don't charge enough or when you're not putting enough money into their home and listing it and selling it or helping them buy.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes in as when it comes to being a luxury agent, quote unquote, and helping people really with wealth, it becomes the gold star standard to be like Nordstrom, say. You really want to go above and beyond in what they're looking for because you are catering to their needs as well. And so, like I said, whether you are selling or buying a $400, $500 house, $500,000 house, we're catering to your needs, and your needs as a wealthy client are you expect more. We need to, like I said, market to a different type of person. We are going to put more funds into the property. We're going to do this and that. And so we are going to cater to you just like we cater to our other clients because we don't want to send up any red flags. We don't want you to think we're unprofessional, and we don't want you to think that we're not used to handling this level of, wealth or this
Right.
type of home.
The way that I've always looked at it is you are doing what needs to be done to get the job done
Yeah, exactly.
at the best of its ability.
Mhm.
And in order for me to deliver what you expect,
Mhm.
this is what it costs.
Exactly. Yes.
Right.
So if I'm sending, 1,000 more mailers, or if I'm doing X amount more of work because I want to reach a larger amount of people with a lot more money, I'm going to need to make the quality a lot nicer for my mailers. I'm going to need to put more, that thick, real nice premium paper because, again, wealthy people are on a different level. They expect a different type of service.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am putting more money into it, so I will ask for more. And
Correct.
you don't send up a red flag by doing that. You show them the quality of your work and everything that you're doing, and then you really build a strong connection that way.
100%. 100%. I have a few different things because you said a couple of things there.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I want to point out is you say team a lot.
Yeah. My team that I joined is FAM Realty Group. And so my perspective on it is the whole motto, really, teamwork makes the dream work. Like it's cliche, it's a little bit cliche, but it is.
But it's very true.
It's very true. And when you find a team that you really mesh well with and they cater to your needs and they help you as an agent and they really want to see you become the best version of yourself, that's when you know you found a great match. Because I'm not going to deny that there aren't teams out there that are just.
So did you find your husband?
What?
Because that's like the perfect match.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. No. But go ahead.
But once you, like I said, I won't deny that there are teams out there that kind of rotate through a bunch of agents because they don't cater to the individual agent's needs. And so when you come on a team and you learn that they're helping you and they're catering you and they want you to be the best version of yourself, you're going to stay. And I learned that with my team. I absolutely adore my team leader. I adore everybody I work with because it's a win-win situation. It is win-win or no deal. That is our motto. And so for us as a team, for our clients, for ourselves as realtors and building our own businesses, as entrepreneurs, it is a win-win or no deal. And so the environment is super supportive. I've been able to grow in it. I've watched other agents come in new or experienced or, the whole threshold of everything and just really have the opportunity to grow and become, the best version of
How long you been with them?
I joined them fairly recently. I believe it was September.
September.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so when did you get licensed?
March of last year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what were you doing prior to that?
So my goal was to learn the systems pretty much of real estate prior to becoming an agent. I wanted some background knowledge, and so I used to work at a brokerage in Carlsbad, kind of on the admin side of things.
Were you a TC or?
No, I was more. My position title was along the lines of like assistant team lead. Director of First Impressions, Director of Agent Services, and so I was helping agents as they were coming on board. I was in charge of learning the back-end system, so like our CRM, helping new agents integrate everything into that, or experienced agents, team meetings, organizing meetings with new TCs that would be a household name, for our whole brokerage, and learning all the nitty-gritty pieces of it that make up a brokerage and make up what it means to be a realtor. And so I was there for about a year, a little bit over a year before I got licensed.
Okay.
And like I said, I just really wanted to learn like the whole back end system of things.
Yeah.
So I had a better grasp. I wasn't really going in blind.
Correct. When you got licensed, how come you didn't stay with them?
So I switched brokerages. So I got licensed in March, and I was probably there, I think, until end of June or August. I can't remember. I was training the new girls to take over for me.
Okay.
Because I worked around like 3 different positions, and so it was a lot of information I kind of had to pass on.
Okay.
And so I trained her there, and I love that brokerage. I love my team lead that was there and everything. But when I met my team leader, my current team leader, the team that I'm on, I made it clear to the brokerage I was working with before that it wasn't personal at all. I just loved everything that the other team was offering me. And so I didn't even switch brokerages because, the brokerage I left didn't offer me enough and the other one offered me more. I joined specifically for the team.
Gotcha.
For the team name, for the resources and everything like that.
So you believe that people enter your life at different parts of your life for those portions, like how people say that people come in and out of your life for seasons.
Oh, definitely. You evolve. You grow as a human and you do what's best for you. And I have no ill will, no bad feelings at all towards the people I used to work with. I'm still really close friends with my old team lead that I used to work right under. She is amazing. She's having a baby now. I've watched her grow and everything like that, and it's been great.
Awesome.
And, you grow as an individual and you find different places where you fit. And you just do what's best for you without hurting anybody along the way.
That's amazing. Okay. All right. So one of the things that stands out to me for people that have a high level of success is that they pay attention to the environment.
Yeah.
So how is your take on the environment? What's your perspective on it? How do you move? And I mean, that's where you work, where you eat, you sleep, where you have fun, and also who you do those things with.
What does my environment look like, essentially? Like, what do I need to thrive?
Correct.
Biggest thing for me, so I have an office in Carlsbad. I also have a home office, but it is very important to me that when it comes to my environment, whatever it is I'm doing, that I have a time block situation going. And so if I'm in the office or if I'm working from home, there needs to be delegations throughout my day on what I'm doing to be the most productive version of myself and to ensure that my business is growing, my mental health is, completely fine, my relationships are fine. I'm not going to work around the clock. It's really important when you're providing service to somebody and you're an entrepreneur and you're not the traditional 9 to 5 that you respect your own boundaries. And, setting times like, I'm off at 5. This is family time. Please don't call me after this time. I'm available during the day. I'm available at this time on certain weekends, and setting boundaries for yourself. But I would definitely say that environment-wise, I promote and really, really prioritize my mental health. And so if I'm working from home, it's just my solitude. I keep my space clean. I keep everything organized. If I'm working
Mm-hmm.
from the office, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just focusing on me throughout the day too. So like I time block, like I said, I'm prospecting from
What do you
9.
use for that? Like, are we talking about like your calendar in your phone? Do you have like a whiteboard and calendar in your office, or
Yeah.
like you use what tool do you use for that?
I use Google Calendar. And so I can
Okay.
access it on my phone. I can do it on my laptop. I also
Okay.
have a whiteboard in my office,
Uh-huh.
and that just shows like my team meetings. I keep the whiteboard for like my main events. So the repetitive team meetings I have, the trainings I have,
Okay.
and then I structure everything else kind of around that. Color coding everything. So like
Absolutely.
families red,
Yeah.
my prospecting's green, the things that bring me money are green, appointments. But like I said, taking time to prioritize my mental health, because if I'm not there completely, then my business isn't thriving completely.
Correct.
And so if I need to take, starting off the day with meditating or just gratitude and everything like that,
Mm-hmm.
ending the day with yoga or going to the gym, just little things for myself,
Okay.
that keeps my environment stable. I've learned that the root of everything is my mental health and how I'm doing as an individual. And if I'm not thriving and I'm not, being the best version of me mentally, then everything around me starts to crumble. And so it's very important to me that my environment stays balanced, and in order to do that, I have to be the best version of myself mentally.
Awesome. The people that you keep in your environment.
How do I kind of integrate them into my life?
Yeah.
I
I mean, because some of them have to move out of the way.
Yeah. No, I keep like I had a really big friend group in high school, probably like 30 or 40 people. But that was like a very like there I have a close group of probably 5 girls
Okay.
that I hang out with. And those are the people that I see consistently now.
Okay.
More so as an adult, with everybody doing their own things and
Correct.
moving
Correct.
around.
Correct.
But no, I still keep in touch. That big friend group I probably see once a year, like on New
Okay.
Year's, and I kind of it's
But the
more
type 5, what does the type 5 do?
the type 5. Let's see. Oh, they're gonna love this. They're gonna love the shout out. Let me think. They're all going to school right now. Actually, if I'm thinking off the top of my head, it's actually 4.
Okay.
Or no, yeah, 5. One, they're all going to school.
Okay.
One moved to the East Coast,
Okay.
and so she goes to school out there.
Okay.
And
So there's 4 that are close to you that you guys see somewhat on a regular basis.
yeah, try to do like once a month when all of our
Okay.
schedules kind of line up.
Okay.
And then
So you guys are all serious.
yeah.
So it's not like, all right, we're going this weekend and this Wednesday we're going here. And
I mean, it's not only that, it's like they're all going to school and they also work jobs.
yeah.
And so when we get together, we get to act our age and to go back to what it's like to be, because
Yeah.
in my, like I said, I carry myself
impressed.
very differently. Thank you. And so when I see them, it's an opportunity to just kind of be my age and have fun that way.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. So you dropped out of college.
I did.
What college were you going to?
UC Davis. I was there on an academic
Wow.
scholarship. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
You okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were there on an academic
Mhm.
scholarship, UC Davis, not just any little building.
Mhm.
That choice you made because
Dropping out or going to college in the first place?
both.
Those are okay.
Both.
Yeah. So going to college in the first place was kind of something I always had. Like that was just tunnel vision my whole middle school, high school career.
Because that's what's fed to you from
My family. Exactly.
everyone else.
I come from a Hispanic household, and so my mom and my family was really I'm the first grandchild, the only granddaughter,
Okay.
and the only niece, the only female. And
You guys are from where? Your
my
family?
grandfather's from Ecuador, my grandmother's from Mexico.
Okay.
My mom and her siblings were born here.
Okay.
But it was just very like, my uncles and my mom, like they all went to college. They, built this whole life for themselves. Majority of them went to USC on academic scholarships.
Yeah. It was important for them back then though.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And so it was just a huge thing. Like you get good grades, you go to college, you build that life. Like that is the steps that you follow.
Correct.
And so I really honed into all of that. I was
And you achieved it.
I achieved it, yeah. And I
Yeah.
worked really hard to get there. And then I got there and I got into Davis with the major, it's called MPB, Neurobiology, Physiology, and Behavior.
Okay.
So I was leaning towards the medical field because
Yes.
that was really what my mom and my family promoted. Like first grandchild, first daughter, gonna
Yeah.
go be a doctor,
Boom. Absolutely.
knock it out of the ballpark. And then I got there and I was miserable. And I was like, wow, this is
This
10
is
to
not
12 years of school.
Yeah.
And this is
It's not what I want to do.
exactly. And it wasn't like I didn't like it. It's just I wasn't in love with it. And I couldn't see myself going to school for that amount of time to do something I'm just okay with. So I actually dropped out without telling my parents first.
Of course.
Yes.
Of
And
course.
so I don't think I would have done it, honestly, if they were paying anything, because that would have been,
Mija.
yeah, 40 something thousand to go to school, and then I drop out and they have to pay it all back. That would have, I never would have done that. But because I got in on a scholarship, I talked to the council there, and they let me know if I withdrew after a certain date that I wouldn't have to pay back my scholarship. And so that was a blessing for me. And I did that. I withdrew. I didn't tell my mom. I packed up all my stuff. My dad went up, my stepdad went up to pack up all my stuff with me. I told him before I told my mom.
Yeah.
Drove all my stuff, kept it parked across the street, took her out to dinner, and I was like, I was freaking out. I was freaking out because my mom is just, like it's the Hispanic household. She's very strict. It was just, the only option was going to school.
Absolutely.
And she received it so well. I was shocked. It's like, I always had faith in you. And I was like, wow, she's just kick ass.
Wow. So we have, wow. Okay. So we have, salute to that.
Salute.
Like
Salute
straight
to
up.
Mama Jenny. There you go.
Like seriously. So we have academic scholarship, drops out, gets an amazing real estate career, and buys her first home at 21 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going into escrow today, hopefully.
Wow. And not married. Y'all sleep.
Yeah.
Y'all
I do have a boyfriend.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
You better get it together. I hope you coming correct. My goodness. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was crazy. I'm surprised she actually didn't react more. I mean, they cried. They cried a little bit when I dropped out, my stepdad and my mom, because they were like nervous. But my mom was always in my corner, and so was my stepdad. He gave me a loan of, it was about $5,000. And he's like, go kick off your career, be kick ass. So I've always told them from the get go, I'm like, look, I'm going to take care of you. Like, it's just what's going to happen. Like, I'm going to provide for everybody in my family. I have a big family on my mom's side. And so I'm like, taking care of them is like my first priority. That is like, when you're at certain brokerages like Keller Williams, they have like the big why. Like, what is your big why? What is motivating you? Family is definitely number one for me, but I'm surprised they weren't as reactive. I think because after getting into Davis, I'd applied and I got waitlisted at Harvard. And then I completely withdrew because I was like, I'm not going to college at all. And so I think that was like the most devastating part for my parents. But like I said, they've always been in my corner. And now the fruit of my labors are coming to fruition. And we're just going to keep building 2024, become like the most kick-ass versions of ourselves we can be.
Where are you going?
What do you mean? Life-wise? To the top?
What is that?
For me,
There's an old saying that there's no there there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true. You have to be happy in the now. Your goal can't be constantly focused on, what your end goal has to be or what you want your end goal to be. You have to be happy with where you're at now. And I'm ecstatic. Even when I wasn't in college, even when I was, crying in my boyfriend's car because I realized I dropped out and I didn't know what I was doing, you have to be happy in the moment. And I was grateful. I'm grateful no matter what.
You did know what you were doing, though.
I did, but it's still scary. It's still like, is this going to work out? Like, even though you have faith in yourself and people are in your corner, like, self-doubt is unavoidable. Of course, it comes with success. You just kind of have to overcome that. And so, for me, the biggest thing is being happy in the now. Being grateful for the now, and then the rest comes. But the end goal for me would definitely be being able to provide for all of my family. You kind of have my home situation figured out. I have my own house. I'm successful. I'm running my own business. And at the same time, I've taken care of my mom. I've taken care of my dad, my uncles, my aunts, provided for everybody. That is the top of the pyramid for me. That is the end goal, where nobody really has to worry about anything. The greatest thing for me would be able to help all my cousins go to college. I'm the oldest of 13. I can't count them all off the top of my head right now, but it's either 11 or 13. I think. Yeah.
Enough.
And so the end goal where I would be completely happy is being able to put all of them through college and help them with that.
So from what you achieved so far, I would be thinking that you are drawing a line in the sand that, okay, in 2 years or 3 years, I need to have a team of 25,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
50,
Yes.
right? Or have influenced or have helped this many people, because it's not all just production.
Yeah.
Don't watch me do it. Come with me.
I agree with that completely. And I get what you're saying now. So kind of like the year-long goal, the years-long goal.
Yeah,
The
right.
biggest, yeah. The biggest thing, I remember sitting down in my old boss's office, Rachel, before I first got hired at the brokerage I was working at prior on the back end, they ask you those questions. What's your kind of 1 month goal? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? At the time I was 19, and I told her by the time in 5 years when I'm 24, I'm like, I'm going to be a millionaire. That's without conversation. That's without doubt. I'm going to have my own team. That is the goal. I'm going to build everything out. I want to perfect my systems, and I want to utilize everything that I've been taught, and I want to bring the people up who have helped bring me up as well. And so building out my own team is a huge thing for me. It's definitely something I want to do. And I have a goal to be a millionaire by the time, by the end of my 5-year goal, which is around
A
20.
millionaire is very vague, though. We can't say millionaire no more.
You're right. I got to think bigger.
Right?
That's
Like,
just-
but
yeah.
but I mean, but a millionaire, you could have just crossed over $1 million, right? And then your taxes came, and you're not a millionaire
Not
no
a
more.
millionaire anymore. So I guess
Right.
after taxes, walking away with
Okay, so you're
net
saying
to my
1
boss.
million? So you're saying $1.5 million that you'd be satisfied? There's no way.
No.
There's no way.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Right? So are we saying like minimum like 5 million? Leaving here, you can't use millionaire term no more. You need to say 5 million or 9 million, right? Or 10 million, or you're a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Right? You've come too fast
To cap myself at.
to cap yourself at $1 million.
Yeah.
That's no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Right?
Thank you for the reality check. You're right. No, because you are right. And so I'll say right now, by the time for the goal, the 5-year goal, which would be 24, so for me is about a little less than 4 years away. Shoot for the stars. Why not 10 million?
Okay.
Why not?
All right. So you'll be a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think you'll be a millionaire before 5 years.
Well, thank you. I think so too.
And unless you get knocked off the rail somewhere,
Yeah.
right?
And that's, again, where the mindset comes in and the balance with life and making sure you're staying stable and everything.
But that only happens like in a few different ways. So that either happens with like a intimate relationship, or like a child comes in the picture, right? And then you need to
rearrange your life around that.
absolutely, you need to take in deep consideration this word that is used amongst the higher power, sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, with that being said, how is your relationship?
With my boyfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. It is great. He's super supportive in everything that I do. He's been, like I said, when I first dropped out
21?
of college. He's 21. He's going to be 22 in May.
Okay.
He's super supportive. He was the first person I went to about dropping out of college, and he was my biggest supporter from the get-go. He was like, you can do it.
So you guys were doing distance.
We were doing distance because I wasn't there a long time. I wasn't even there a year.
Yeah.
But we started dating right before I left for college. It was like around May. We met in May, and then I left for college in end of August, beginning of September, I believe it was.
Yeah.
He knows my parents very well, and he's like, they'll love you regardless, but it's about you pursuing like what you want to do.
Correct.
You know, they will always be in your corner, and like I will always be in your corner. And he really gave me that push of confidence. Like I said, when I was in his car and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And he was like, you can do it. He's like, I know you can do it. That won't be a problem.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If it's okay to ask, like, where is he going, and what has he like? And this is not to say, oh, like he needs to meet your success level at the moment, or like anything like that. But the question stems from, a lot of times, people like one partner, is like grinding, head down, working, going somewhere.
Yeah.
And then the other person probably sitting back, a little comfortable, maybe like taking it on a whole different level, not as serious, right? Or not participating in, helping in your success, or helping you get like there's like all these different situations. Everybody has a different situation, right? And what happens sometimes is it's okay up until a point where it's not okay, right?
Yeah.
So it starts out, oh, it's cool, it's no worries, boom, 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 boom. He's chilling, or he's making whatever average money is, right? And then you go from okay, all right, I made 100 this year to a 300 to 7,
Yeah.
et cetera, and then he's still it's cool,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then there's a line somewhere, no one knows where it happens,
Yeah.
right? But something happens, and you're like, damn, dude, like,
Yeah.
So that's where my question comes from, as far as for like, what does he do?
Mm-hmm. So he right now is going to be going into the Air Force
Okay.
for computer. I know this. No, not computer science. No. It's not computer science. I know this. I say this all the time. It is
But it's somewhere in the computer space engineering.
computer. It's cyber systems operations.
Okay.
So cybersecurity.
Okay.
And so he really wants to do that. And so
Okay.
I've had his back for that constantly too.
That's dope.
And he wants to finish out in there and finish out his degree. I think he's a couple credits short of his associate. So he could come out with his master's. I think that's the end goal.
Okay.
From those 4 years. And build his own thing that way out of tech. Because we talked about it. I was like, have big goals. Big goals are really important. If we're going to do this together, like, we got to be on the same page, right?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes. And so we've game planned that before. I'm like, when you come out, like, you're going to have this degree, you're going to have these certifications, and cybersecurity pays really well.
Very
well.
Very well.
Like, starting 6 figures if you go to a company, not
Very
to mention
well.
if you start your own.
Absolutely.
And so that's where my resources come into. I'm like, if you want to come out and not work for a company and kind of start your own thing, because you've had all these years of experience now, 4 years of experience, I was like, I will help you build something from the ground up, because I know his potential. Like, when you see someone and you can see their potential, it's what I see in him. And I'm like, so if you want to build something from the ground up, I'm like, I will be more than happy to help you do that.
Okay.
And so that's where he's at. I think he's going to be leaving in June, I believe. It's kind of like you wait till the job comes up kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you wait for each rotation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But we're very opposite. And so that's where the yin and yang. And so
Okay.
that's what I always like to mention is, like, he is very techie. He's numbers. He was a statistics major in college. And, like, he is all algorithm and everything like that. And then I'm more on the public speaking, creativity, kind of like person to person, get me person to person, and I can
Correct.
get you to, work with me.
Correct.
And so it's
So you guys could be a good team in a business.
exactly. Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. So
Exactly.
I think that's where two people can really kind of come together.
Yeah, the balance of
and really make something work, make something amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay. All right, cool. That's cool. What is your thought, especially nowadays, with there's a bunch of new realtors that have entered the market, including yourself, right? Many of them got in and they don't have the right guidance, or they don't have vision, right? Or they don't have the right support, and it's not what they thought. They got licensed, and they're watching everybody's highlight reel on social media, and they think that, okay, I'm just going to post this static information or the static this, that post, and hopefully
I get some clients, some traction.
some kind of way.
Yeah. The biggest thing for new realtors that I would say is really get your nose in the book. And when it comes to, you can never stop learning. And so everything is an algorithm, everything. So when it comes to social media, like just posting static reels or doing this or doing that, every social media site has an algorithm. Find out what the algorithm is, invest in your business, invest in your company. If you're older and you're transitioning businesses, you're transitioning from whatever it is you do now to a realtor, my biggest advice is have cushion. Have some money saved up so you can invest into being a realtor, so you can invest into your business, because you're investing into yourself. Your business is you. You are the product you are selling. Correct. And so invest in companies that take time to teach you the algorithm when it comes to stuff like that. Invest in coaching and good coaching. Do your research on coaching. Don't just pay, some random guy that's saying I can get you 10 leads. Okay, do your research on the coaching. And then go from there. And, there's a really big preconceived notion, again, that when you become an agent, you go to a brokerage and they're just going to hand you leads and you're going to, pedal to the metal, start doing deals.
But that's what a lot of brokers promote, though.
They
right?
promote. Find a good team. Don't find someone who's going to take advantage of you and just kind of use you for when you bring in leads and then give you a horrible split and then walk away with, 60%, not 60, like, 80% of your funds, especially if you're generating
It
them
happens.
yourself. It does. It happens a lot.
It happens.
And so find a team that you work well with, because that's what educators and experienced agents are for, that have teams. They want to teach you.
Yeah.
And they want to take the time to show you these are the best methods and these are the best practices.
Yeah.
And so do your research that way. Don't just go into it kind of blind, hoping that, oh my God, the industry is great. I think it was like 30 to 40% of realtors left the business last year because of how slow it got and how bad things got for people who weren't doing prospecting
Correct.
the right way. If you're just waiting for the phone to ring, the phone's not going to ring. You can't be a silent realtor and expect, oh my God, my whole sphere of influence is going to call me now because I got my license and everybody wants to sell a house. It's not going to happen, especially in last year's market. I mean, things are picking up now with rates, being cut and dropping into the year. Things are going to get chaotic, kind of similar. I've seen comparisons back to what it was like, beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
Is what people are predicting.
Yeah.
But still, don't count on that, because when the tough years come, you see everybody leaves the industry because
Yeah.
they don't have systems in place.
Correct.
They didn't learn how to prospect.
Yeah.
They didn't learn how to do any of that. And so make sure you have a system.
And for people that don't have a pipeline, as soon as the rates drop, you're
yeah.
probably still not going to get a piece of the pie because you ain't got a pipeline.
Exactly.
You may get a deal.
Yeah.
May, possibly.
Yeah. But you don't want to bet on luck. Don't
Yeah.
bet on maybe somebody coming up. Bet on guarantees.
Correct.
Know you're calling people on the daily. Know you have people in your system that you're working, your top 100, your top 50. These 4 people, these 3 people have to buy in the next 3 months. I know that for a fact. So I'm working them every single day. I'm sending them, market updates, CMAs, whatever it may be.
Yeah, something of value.
Yes. Don't bet on them coming into your, office and saying, okay, I'm ready to sell. That's great when they do come in. When you're a household name, when you build yourself up big enough on social media or within your brokerage and you start getting leads that way, that's great. That just kind of comes with being an expert in your industry. But you need to have a system in place where people will not just come and knock on your door and surprise you with a deal. You need to have your numbers figured out. You need to know how many calls you're making. One of our team leaders, one of the people that trains us on our team, Zach, we break down like how many calls you need to be making a day, a week, a month to turn that into 1 transaction, 2 transactions, 3 transactions. Shout out to Zach because,
Playing the number game.
Yes, play the number game. Don't just bet on luck.
100%. 100%. So the reason why I asked this is because I think that there's a big difference between people that are paying for coaching and they're getting community, which community is good.
Yeah.
However, they may not be networking. So they're paying for coaching. They end up at a community event, but they're not really networking. They're really not getting anything out of it. They're almost just throwing money into the campfire.
Yeah. You're paying for community. Yeah. When it comes to that, when you're not getting anything out of it. Well, that's why I say the biggest thing, the most important thing to do is do your research when it comes to picking a coach. Don't just go to the guy on the corner who's telling you, hey, you can get this many leads if you do this. Some people do offer that, but look at the reviews, look at the system, see their following, see the people they've impacted, especially look at the stories of other agents coming forward and saying, this is what has helped me that he's done, make sure they have systems in place, not just... Everybody loves a motivational speaker, but motivational speakers aren't gonna, there's no turnaround with that. The best coaches are motivational speakers, but they give you points of value. They give you things to add to your business and to the industry, and to walk away and be like, okay, now I know what I need to do when I get off this call. This is what I'm doing. But yeah, that is the biggest thing.
That was gonna be the next thing I was gonna say, because there's a lot of motivational speakers. And obviously getting your energy right and getting motivated to perform an action is important.
Yeah, it's huge.
But that wasn't coaching.
No,
because
there's a big difference.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because I look at coaching as far as for everyone needs coaching.
Yeah.
Right? Kobe Bryant needed coaching.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan needed coaching.
Everybody.
Because
everybody has to start from the beginning.
Correct. However, well, even those that are seasoned, that know what they're doing, they need even tighter coaching. Like, that's the reason why they said it was hard to coach Kobe, Michael, all these guys.
Yeah.
Right? Is because their skill level had already surpassed what that coach could even deliver.
Yeah.
So if someone's getting coaching, you need to make sure that someone could coach you on the specific situations that you are encountering.
Yeah. Definitely. And so that's the biggest thing, like finding someone, like I said, the same thing with a team, like finding someone you mesh well with that knows your situation, that knows your circumstances. It's just like buying and selling. It is not one size fits all.
Correct.
People have different goals, people have different aspirations, people have different ways that they prefer to work. And so finding a coach that you mesh well with, and like I said, is super important. And so coaching and motivation are two separate things. Having a good coach will provide you motivation, but they provide you pieces of value, and they provide you numbers and prospecting methods and what you need to be doing to be bettering yourself and your business. Listen to a motivational podcast while you're driving to work. Listen while you're driving to a listing appointment or a buyer's appointment. Like get the energy right that way, but don't pay for a motivational speaker. That's not what you should be doing. Please don't do that. Pay for somebody who's going to teach you how to build your business, and become the best version of yourself. So it goes both ways with, a coach that you're paying for and a team that you're joining.
Awesome. So, the last one that I have, well, I have many more, but we have to cut it short. So the last one that I have is, in order for you to hit your mile marker, because I just set another mile marker for you at 2 years. Okay.
You did.
Okay. All right. So you have a new mile marker. So in order for you to hit this milestone, what do you need to sacrifice? Something has to be sacrificed.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. What do I need to sacrifice?
Is it time? Is it time with your significant other? Is it your bottle of wine every other night? Is it?
I would have to say, if I were going to sacrifice something, it would have to be not necessarily sacrifice, but structure more. Is like it's time to really dial in, become an expert at the schedule, essentially. So it's like limiting. I don't believe in limiting family time or limiting significant other time. I don't believe that you need to sacrifice to be the best version of yourself. I think that what you need to do is dial in. Make sure what I'm doing is significant. If I'm setting a goal to prospect, and I learned this from a coach that I work with, that my team works with, Justin, it's if working more hours doesn't necessarily cause more production.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Result in
Correct.
more production.
Correct.
And so it's dialing in. Set a goal for yourself. Make sure your mind's right. Say, this week I need to set 2 meaningful appointments. If you're dialing from, and I need to do that before 10:30 this morning, so who am I calling through? What am I doing? Who are my top 10 that I know need to sell, need to buy? I don't believe in sacrificing time with my family and kind of running myself dry. And, oh my God, I need to put more hours in to become a better version of myself. No, I just need to make things more purposeful. And so that's where dialing in, I really need to hone in on when it comes to prospecting, when it comes to converting, when it comes to educating myself, family or, me time, because that's just as important.
But you're just like, if I'm gonna dial,
yeah, I'm dialing.
I'm going hard.
I'm going hard. Yeah. I'm not, again, it's like going to the gym. You can go through the movements. I can make cold calls, but those aren't going to guarantee me anything. I know that I've been prospecting. I know that I have ISAs on the back that are doing calls and bringing me warm leads, hot leads. I'm calling the hottest people right now that need to buy, need to sell. And if they don't need to buy or sell right now, I'm putting them on the back burner and I'm reaching out in a month, 2 months, keeping them on a drip.
Yeah.
Make everything that you do intentional. You don't have to put more time in. You don't have to cut time out. Your time with yourself and your family is just as important as your clients. I'm not going to run myself ragged. I'm being more intentional. In 2024, that is what I'm doing. I'm honing in, I'm locked in. 2024.
So 2 years from now, where are you going to be?
2 years from now, I'm going to be, I'm easily going to have breached the millionaire mark. A million right there.
Okay.
I'm going to say, for me.
Okay. And then where else are you going to be? Are you going to be in the same residence? Are you going to be in the same city? You're going to be...
I want to stay in San Diego. I would say that. I want to buy my parents a new house.
You're going to be in Del Mar by that time.
Del Mar, exactly. Encinitas, Del Mar, Solana Beach.
Hey.
Love the coastal cities. So anywhere around there.
Overlooking the racetrack?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Anything
Down
like
the street
that. My dad
from
wants
Torrey
land.
Pines.
I'd get my dad some land if he likes to, ride dirt bikes, do all that. Get him some property maybe in Valley Center, Fallbrook area. But you get myself my own house, know.
All right. Or you can put them up in what's right there? Rancho Santa Margarita? Is that no?
Rancho Santa Fe?
Rancho Santa Fe right there.
Rancho Santa Fe is very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. They got land up there, right?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah.
You buy a couple acres and
and the homes are really nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you are far beyond your years.
Thank you.
You are. Like, seriously.
Thank you.
And it's been more of an honor to sit down and have this conversation with you and learn just a little bit about you. Hopefully we get you in the studios again.
Yeah.
When you have time, because you're a very busy lady. And you have a lot of work in front of you that you're doing. But I don't think anyone has any doubt that you're going to completely run it over.
Thank you.
As if it doesn't even exist.
Thank you very much.
So let's go ahead and
cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
It was more than a pleasure. Thank you so much.